What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Zatima. This is season 2, episode 4. Let's get right into the review. Baby, when I tell you I was over this first scene, because we have Zach, he's pissed off. He ends up jumping into the elevator, and there were some other people who needed to get on the elevator. He pushed them out the way, closed the elevator doors or whatever, and is yelling at Fatima, telling her to tell him what happened, why she get off her knees, blah 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 blah. She's over here trying to explain, and I'm just like, really, Tyler? This is the best that you could have gave us for this scene. It's irritating because I just feel like, why are they over here arguing and having this conversation right in front of Paul? It makes no sense. Like, especially once Zach started doing all that yelling about he don't care about where he's at and how she has 1 minute to explain to him. Zach, really? You think that much of Fatima? Or should I say, you think that little of Fatima? All this hooping and hollering, it irritated me so much because I just feel like, again, what do we see Zach doing? Huffing and puffing. I'm tired of Mr. Huff and Puff. He is not hearing what Fatima is saying at all. He refuses to get off the elevator. According to him, he's going to fight Paul. And I'm like, Paul, it's crazy to me that you just standing in the background letting this man be so crazy and talk to her in this way, considering you just gave her a whole lecture on how he's disrespectful. So at this point, Zach is like, well, you know what? You can stay here with him. I'm getting off the elevator. And what happens? He can't get off the elevator. The elevator is stuck yet again. And Paul has to talk to the other guy who works in construction to tell him to fix it again. The guy's like, it was just open. And he's like, well, you gotta fix it again because whatever, the door's closed. So here goes Zach and Fatima going at it again, and she has to re-explain what happened. She took her shoes off. They were in there for an hour. All this stuff. I was irritated with this scene because the fact that Zach was not listening at all, I'm just so, ugh, I'm drained. I feel like I'm so drained with Zach's character at this point. I feel like Tyler doesn't know what to do with him. He doesn't know how to write this man at all because there should be some changes for sure in Zach at this point. There's no reason for him to come at Fatima the way that he's coming at her, regardless of what he saw. I'm sorry, she ain't your mama. So at this point, Fatima is like, I'm done. I'm done with this situation. And Zach, he decides, okay, fine that you're done. I'm going to go ahead and question Paul. He questions Paul on how long have they known each other. I'm just like, this is him doing way too much. Again, the man needs some hobbies because we see him continue to interrogate Paul at this point about where this man parks his car. How did he know that her car got a tire in it? He accuses him of putting a nail in her tire. Zach is doing the absolute most. He over here waddling with every word that he says. I am so over it. This scene is lasting way too long. Baby, it has gotten to the point where Paul has to hem Zach up in the corner because Zach continues to talk reckless. And then after he's hemmed him up, told him that, he didn't do all the things that Zach has accused him of, you have Fatima saying, let him go, let him go. And when he lets him go, Paul decides that he's going to be the bigger man in this situation. And he's going to say, let's start over. Let me do a reintroduction. He shakes Zach's hand and says, I'm Paul or whatever. And Zach decides in that moment that he's going to headbutt this man to where now we see Paul laid out on the floor. Tyler, get away from me with this. I'm so sick of this scene. So the elevator starts working. Zach and Fatima end up leaving. Y'all, let's jump on over. So, first things first. Is Tyler trying to play in our face? Because why is Belinda, why is she back, number one? But number two, why is she out here being a YouTuber? Why was she out here trying to review some BET Plus shows? Talking about cause Ruthless is crazy and blah, 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 blah. I mean, ain't nobody checking for Ruthless, or at least I'm not. But girl, I don't know about you being a YouTuber. Nonetheless, you have heard Angela, right? All right, so We had this conversation with Angela and Belinda. They were like joking around about some type of video or whatever, and how somebody got beat up like a rag doll. Now I'm trying to figure out, was it the video that maybe Zach and Aaron had because they were fighting? Like, I'm confused what the video was, because you have Angela saying, "Yeah, don't try to drop the video or whatever," and then she mentions, "Oh yeah, but the fine man who hemmed up Zach." I said, wait a second. So you're talking about Paul. How do you have video of Zach and Paul and their interaction? I'm confused. Tyler, what's going on? Because none of this is making sense. So Belinda is just saying how, it's not going to work out for Fatima and Zach. She thinks that Zach is stupid, especially considering that he got mad that old boy fixed Fatima's tire. Now, Belinda wanted to make a bet or whatever because she thinks that they're only going to last 3 more months as far as Zach and Fatima. And when it comes to Angela, she's like, no, we're not going to bet. That's our friend. Why would we bet on our friend's relationship? Blah, 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 blah. Girl, Belinda ain't that girlfriend. So Belinda even says, that's your friend. I'm not friends with her. And now here's my thing. You have Angela going over to Belinda's spot so that they can talk about Fatima and her relationship with Zach, but she has no mention of the shenanigans that she going through with Bryce. I'm irritated because you're quick to spread gossip about Fatima, but not talk about your own situation, Angela. See, I'm telling y'all, I don't like Fatima's friends. And then you have Belinda, she's over questioning why Angela and Fatima are having all these hangouts with each other. And it's like, girl, that's because you're on the outside looking in now. You were a part of the group at one time, but let's not forget, you tried to seduce Zach, even though, according to you, you were trying to help Fatima out. Girl, bye. All right, so now we jump over to Nate and Tony. Again, why are we getting scenes with them? They are at the basketball courts or whatever, and they're talking about Zach and Fatima. Like, I am so tired of Nate being the ultimate hater when it comes to Fatima. Like, sir, you have a whole wife to worry about. Go home to her. But then he mentions how, Connie said that she saw Zach. What I'm trying to figure out is why these two fools, they hang out so much in the old neighborhood. Because if I can recall, Zach had to go all the way to the projects to go see his mama. I'm pretty sure he went to a grocery store that's probably still in that same project area. Why y'all hanging out over there? Why are you still talking to Connie? Nate, what is going on with you? So, according to him, Zach can't resist Connie, so he's anticipating for Zach to cheat on Fatima. I said, what kind of friends do these people have? So Zach finally shows up. The guys say that they're not going to play basketball with him because he has aggression and he has on hoochie daddy shorts. You have Nate saying how he's backed up and how Zach is not getting any from Fatima. Of course, that's what his reference is going to be, Fatima, because she stays on that man's mind. Zach's like, I'm going to play basketball by myself. He take the ball or whatever. The guys are talking trash, and then that was pretty much that scene. Something that we could have cut. Honestly, this episode is trash. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But I'm gonna try to get through this. Let's go ahead and move on to the next scene. Y'all, here we go again with another scene that makes no sense and is quite aggravating. You have Fatima telling what's her name? Angela, about what went down in the elevator. So then she has to confess that she already knows what happened in the elevator because there's a video, and she decided to go ahead and send this video to Belinda because the video was circling around the office. And because she sent it to Belinda, Belinda decided to talk about it on her podcast. And here is my thing. Angela, you're an idiot. Why would you even send this video to Belinda knowing that her and Fatima are no longer cool? I hate the fact that you take no accountability for your actions. And it's annoying because now Fatima has an issue with Belinda and she wants to go pay her a visit. And then for Angela, she just tells her, oh, you're just being too nice. That girl isn't our friend or whatever. I'm like, girl, Angela is not your friend either because Angela should have better discernment than this. Now I'm trying to figure out what security officer decided that he would go ahead and send this video around, because it makes no sense, especially considering it seems like they only showed the part where Zach gets hemmed up, but not the fact that Zach ended up knocking Paul out. Like, make that make sense. So Fatima, she's like, I don't feel like eating. I'm done with this, or whatever. Belinda, she did this, just to get back at me, to embarrass me, and she feels some type of way. So she ends up leaving, and I'm just like, again, when is old girl gonna have her conversation with Bryce? Because she's so busy chasing down Fatima and what Fatima got going on. Angela has her own situation that she needs to handle. When we gonna get that, Tyler? All right, y'all, here we go with another scene that got on my nerves. Honestly, this episode was so trash to me. All right, so we do see that Zach is still playing basketball by himself. His friends are in the corner over talking about him. And we learn that Nate decided to invite Connie to where they are located. I'm just like, who needs enemies when you have friends like this? So Connie ends up showing up. And one thing that I will say is that the woman who plays Connie, like, I feel like she has a New York accent, and so does the Val, but we are setting this story up in Atlanta. I'm just like, you couldn't find a girl who has like a southern accent? No? Okay. So Connie goes over there and she is spitting her best game, trying to say that they used to be all sweaty on each other and all of this. And Zach he's tempted, but he knows that he cannot cross that line. According to Connie, they have always done this. This has been a thing for them. Um, Pretty much whenever Zach has been dealing with another woman, dating them or whatever, Connie has always been a side chick. Baby girl is proud to be the side chick. And he says that he can't do this time because he's engaged and he would know that, he cheated on Fatima. This woman is not taking no for an answer. At one point, she tells him that she's going to come over. She tells him that they can leave together. Like, it is a whole thing. I was annoyed with this scene because I'm like, girl, you are looking real desperate. And the fact that Nate set Zach up like this, again, drop these friends that y'all got. So Zach's like, no, I gotta go. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. He leaves or whatever, and he tells Tony and Nate that they're not right for what they did. They decided to go ahead and invite Connie, knowing that that is a serious temptation for him. And my main issue is with Nate because you have a whole wife. And the fact that you are willing to meddle this much in Zach's relationship, but you have no time to put into your own, blows my mind. All right, so now we have Fatima getting a phone call from her mom. And you can already tell by the tone in Fatima's voice that there's something going on. She sounds completely depleted, to be honest. And her mom is just like, what's going on? Is it Zach or whatever? And Fatima's like, no, why would you think that? She's like, because you said that you had a new man in your life, things were serious. When are we going to actually meet him? So Fatima tells her that she will meet Zach soon. And her mom is like, you know what? Go ahead, invite him to dinner. We'll do it this weekend. So her mom actually wonders why Fatima hasn't been home in 3 weeks or whatever. She says that she sent Fatima a care package and it keeps getting sent back, right? Now, this is the part where I said, Tyler, get your storylines together. Because the mom says that, oh, I talked to your landlord and, because the package keeps coming back to me, he ended up giving me your forwarding address. Are you living with Zach? Now, Fatima, of course, is like, oh, mom, I gotta get off the phone with you. My boss is calling, whatever. She rushes off the phone. But here's my thing, Tyler. I thought Fatima owned her place because y'all made it seem like Fatima was going to sell her condo. Or am I tripping? Am I making this up, y'all? Let me know in the comments. Am I making this up? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the last scene, and that is with Zach going home. He sees Deja. Baby girl is hooping and hollering because she can't get out the car, and he decides to go ahead and go help her. He goes over there to help her, and he ends up trying to carry her to her house. I mean, to her side of the house, whatever. And what did she end up doing? Doing all these movements, trying to open up her legs, do all this extra stuff. And next thing you know, there's a white car that pulls into Zach's driveway. Y'all, why did Fatima mama go over there? She went over there, and Zach is like, who are you? Whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm so and so Wilson. I'm like, I feel like by the last name, you should have known that that was Fatima's mother. But nonetheless, she's like, I'm Fatima's mom. What does Zach do? He drops Deja. And I'm just like, all right, let's finally get a good episode, hopefully, for the next one, because now Fatima's mom is involved. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode, because I honestly thought this one was terrible. But go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.